plaintiff, Andrew DeVim, dated the defendant, and they have a child together. Andrew claims after the defendant left with their son, she voluntarily turned the child over to foster care. Andrew finally obtained custody, only to have the defendant make false allegations against him with Child Protective Services. So he's suing. Defendant Amanda Marsh says she left with her son because she was convinced Andrew was cheating with the neighbor's daughter. Amanda admits to calling CPS about Andrew, but says it was only because Andrew refused to let her see their son.
Tell me what happened.
All right, Judge. I met Miss March in May of 2006, and shortly after we had a child together. There were problems pretty much right off the start after we had the child. She knew how much I loved my son, and every time we had a problem, she would threaten to leave. And
when did you break up? You need to start there.
September of 2010 is when she left. But she had left probably 5 or 6 times before that, but come back in 2 days.
Between 2006 and 10.
Yes, sir.
Why would she leave so often?
We would get into an argument, and she would just leave with my son. She knew that my son meant everything to me, and she used him quite a bit against me.
You ever put your hands on her?
No, sir, I never.
Okay.
Never been arrested in my life or anything remotely or anything.
All right. In September of 10, you all broke up for good.
Yeah.
All
yes,
right.
sir. What happened, Judge, was she usually's gone for 1 or 2 days. 6 days had passed, and I knew that there was a problem. To be honest, I was having concerns. I didn't think at the time that she was doing, what she should be doing, part of, having the kid. She was sleeping, in late. We were arguing about how to take care of the kid, a lot of it. And I told her that I was going to call Child Protective Services, and, because we were going to break up.
Weren't you all living together?
At the time, we were.
So you told her, when you move, I'm going to call Child Protective Services.
No, Judge. I wanted to leave and take the child with me.
Okay.
But of course, we're not married, and automatically...
You wanted to take the child because she slept too long.
No, not just that.
That's all I've heard so far.
No, not that.
What
not
did she
just
do
that,
wrong?
Judge. Pretty much nothing. I was doing pretty much everything.
So you told her, when you move, I'm going to call Child Protective Services.
No, Judge. I wanted to leave and take the child with me.
Okay.
But of course, we're not married, and automatically...
You wanted to take the child because she slept too long.
No, not just that.
That's all I've heard so far.
Defendant Amanda Marsh is being sued by her ex-boyfriend, who claims after Amanda turned their son over to foster care, she made false allegations against him to Child Protective Services.
So why did you call on her?
I didn't call on her. I told her I was going to do it.
Why?
Because I wanted to leave with the child because things were not going good.
Did you take the child?
No, sir.
What did happen?
No, sir. I will tell you what happened.
All right.
She left and was gone for about 6 days. I called Child Protective Services in Brainerd, Minnesota.
Sir, you told me you didn't. You said you threatened to.
No, Judge, this is after
Sir, I don't care when it was. I asked you, did you call Child Protective? Don't cut me off. Now you want to overtalk me? Ma'am, let me hear from you.
He is right. There was a lot of arguing and fighting constantly, and I did leave with the child several times. And most of the fighting and arguing was due to that I felt in my gut that he was cheating with the next door neighbor's daughter. He would constantly go over to their house because her stepfather would call or text saying, hey, I have something to show you. He would go over there and he'd say he'd be back in 10 minutes, and it would turn into an hour. And so I got sick of it, and in September of 2010, I did leave with the child, and I went 2 hours away to Brainerd. I did not contact him for probably about good 6 to 7 days. The place that I was staying...
What did you tell him?
I didn't contact him at all. I just left.
I know, but 6 days later you did.
Nope.
That's what you just said. You said I didn't contact him until 6 days later. You just said that.
I didn't contact him until CPS showed up at my friend's house, which was 6 days later.
All right, why?
Because I felt that it was my child, and
no, it's his child too.
It is his child too.
What are you talking about?
But if he's over at the neighbor's house and stays over there for hour, 2 hours at a time,
why didn't you tell him? The reason I'm taking,
that's why we were fighting.
Please don't overtalk me. What's wrong with y'all? You're in the courtroom. Y'all not at home with all this fussing. Yeah, go ahead, sir. You're suing her for harassment. How
Yes,
so?
sir, Judge. After that incident, CPS was called. They went out to where she was living, and she gave the child up. That's when I was contacted by the CPS stating my child was in foster care.
Ma'am, is that what happened?
Yes, sir.
You gave the child up voluntarily?
CPS came and they also stated that I was not able to take care of the child due to inadequate housing.
Ma'am, go ahead.
Judge, after that, I immediately asked them what I have to do to get custody of my child. They told me, and for the next 4 months, I traveled 2 hours. I lived 2 hours away from where she took the child. Twice a week, 5 hours round trip for visits, never missed a one, 4 court dates. Finally, December 21st of 2010, the judge granted me temporary custody of my son. And it was a great Christmas and a very good day. And Judge, they even gave her 6 months after that to get her stuff together and get her child back or even joint. She never made a move to muscle, Judge, to this day. For going on 2 years.
Okay, how often is the visitation?
She is, in the court order, it states that she gets 2 3-hour visits a week, but I can allow her more.
Okay.
I can give her as much. Judge, she has seen her child every single day. I've allowed her to see her child except 3 times in a year and 8 months.
Okay.
And those 3 times, I could tell you I paid for.
Okay.
In spades, Your Honor.
How has she harassed you, though?
Whew. I'm going to start with 2 of the real biggies. She has called CPS on me on 4 occasions, making completely false allegations.
Like what?
That I'm having parties, drug parties, women all over. Your Honor, I have a letter from CPS you have to read, please. It's highlighted, where she admits recanting everything, that it was a complete lie.
She called them and then recanted?
Read it, please, Judge. I beg of you. That's the very last statement is where she admits it. Read that, please, Judge.
Let me see. I did not see any. The reporter has not been credible in her reports and has recanted numerous times. Okay.
That's just one, Judge. This next one really affected me mentally and physically. When I got custody of my son, I was having some trouble sleeping, so they put me on a sleep aid. She called my medical doctor and told them I was misusing it. And you got to read this one. She also called, Judge, this is not a joke. I
know it. That's why I'm not laughing.
Please read this.
I'm not laughing.
Defendant Amanda Marsh is being sued by her ex-boyfriend, who claims after Amanda turned their son over to foster care, she made false allegations against him to Child Protective Services.
She stated that she falsely accused him of selling his medication as a revenge for him not letting her see their child. Ma'am? You want to respond?
Yes, I did do those things due to him not allowing me to see my child. I feel that if he thinks I'm out of control when I'm yelling or crying or emotional, that he says I'm out of control, so therefore he can hold the visits against me and say that I cannot see my child. I'm court ordered 2 visits a week. No matter what, I'm supposed to get 2 visits a week.
No, it's not no matter what.
They told me that specifically. CPS says I am responsible of that child.
It sounds like she's admitting that she got out of control and emotionally.
Your Honor, I could be crying like this, and he says I'm out of control.
You
and
would
he will
be.
hold a
Give her
visit
some
against
tissue.
me.
It wasn't just crying. Threats of hurting herself at times. This was reported to CPS, and you know what they told me, Judge? If I were to have let her see the child then, they would have took him from me.
Negligent, yeah.
Thank you.
You would have been negligent.
Judge, 3 times in a year and 8 months. All 3 times.
How many times,
That's
ma'am?
it.
Probably about 3 to 4 times.
Well, ma'am,
That's quite a bit more,
the
Judge.
things you resorted to would harm his reputation, cause problems in his life, and this is certainly harassment. And so I'm going to grant him his judgment. $3,000 is your judgment for the harassment, for the lies, and for the harm it caused you. Have a good day.
He shouldn't have held my visits against me, even though I was sometimes emotional, because he causes the emotion because he supervises the visits. So he can say something and then I start crying and he says, I'm out of control. So there's nothing else I can do.
I hope mom can get better and be in her son's life. I never wanted to hold him against her. Those 3 incidents, she was way out of control. Like the judge said, in 2 years, and we're only 3 times, and she made it a point to destroy my life because of it. And I think the verdict was very fair, and I thank Judge Mathis.